All right, hi, Joe Soto here again with Revenue Inbound and with Tai Lopez's Social Media Marketing Agency program. And the lesson today is 0 to $1 million, right? So how do you go to 0 to $1 million in revenue for your business? And I know there's a lot of information out there for how to grow your business. You can read, business books to your blue in the face, but at the end of the day, I'm going to give you some book suggestions here, and I'm a big fan of reading. If you follow me on Snapchat, I've also showed my problem that I have in my house, which is similar to Ty's on a smaller scale, which is I have too many books. My wife thinks that I should be selling and making money full-time on eBay selling all the books I have. Unfortunately, I think I need Ty to come over to convince her that I can have bookshelves in my garage, because that's not happening. But I do have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of books, and I get books that are delivered to my house on a weekly basis. And so, if you haven't picked that up, I think most of the people that have had any type of success in business, believe that readers are leaders. So I encourage you to read. But at the same time, I really want you to focus, and I'm going to give you some book suggestions here in this particular module. Because if you are going to spend some time reading, it might as well be the type of reading that can get you from 0 to $1 million in revenue, okay? And now I'm trying to go from where I'm at to from my business. I'm trying to get to the 5 and then 10 million mark, and it's different than getting from 0 to $1 million. And I've recognized that in the recent last few months, because it's interesting how your business has to change in order to get from one stage to the other. And in this particular stage, Michael Masterson calls it the infancy stage of your business. And so if you're between 0 and $1 million, this is the module for you. And it'll give you a mindset and a focus for getting there. So first of all, this is called the infancy stage. Is this 0 to $1 million, okay? And there's really, and this is also, I'm going to attribute this to Michael Masterson, because I really like how he frames this particular stage of your business. He talks about the main problem, the main challenge, and the main opportunity, and then the main skills that you need. So let's go through those. So the main problem, because this is what helped me in my business. So the main problem, and I know some of you can relate to this, is that you don't really know what you're doing yet. So let's just call it what it is. You just started, and you don't really know what you're doing yet. And I remember when I started my business. You don't know. I could just write clueless, right? You don't know what you're doing. And here's the problem: is you think that you need to know everything before you start, which you don't. But let's just call it what it is. But I remember when I started my agency business, I remember I had really been the sales training guy for so long, and for nearly 10 years. And one day, and I had a client of mine, and I was losing clients because in 2008, the economy was so bad. In 2009, going into 2009, I had to figure out how to reinvent myself. And I said, this social media thing's starting to take off. People are trying to figure out how to use it for business. I know at the very least I can sell and get clients. And that ended up being very true. I mean, we got, 75 clients in our first few months of opening that business. We've had hundreds of clients since. But I remember when I started, I was like, at the very least, I'm going to outsell everybody in my space. People that are offering social media services, I'm going to be better at them at getting clients. And that was my focus, and it did help me more than, reflecting back, I realize now how that is a lesson that I wish people had really explained to me better when I started, so I could have maximized it even more. So that's why I'm doing it here today for you. But I remember sitting on the doorstep, and I think I may have shared this in a previous model, when one of my friends came over and he says, "What are you doing? You're the sales training guy. And I just saw your picture in the paper. You have a social media agency here in town, and that you're one of 3 social media agencies in Des Moines." In fact, I had somebody who actually, this is kind of scary, they're stalking me, I guess. They screenshotted a picture of me standing in front of my office building with my team in that particular article that I'm referencing right now. And he said, "What the hell do you know about social media?" And I said, "Honestly, I don't know a whole lot." I said, that's my problem. I'm in the middle of learning this stuff, but I think I can learn it, I'm going to hire people who know more than me to do the social media work. And I'm going to figure it out along the way while I'm selling and bringing on new clients who need help, who know less than me. And this is where it first dawned on me that you just have to know a little bit more than your client. and you already are valuable. And you have to believe that before you take your first step out in the real world. Main challenge. The main challenge is, how do you get profitable? Making your first really profitable sale. Because some people think making your first sale makes you profitable, and it doesn't, because you're going to have expenses, even if it's your time, to go into making that fulfillment happen for that client. At how many clients, have you thought about this? How many clients will you be really profitable, where you can put money away that's profit into your bank account? So your main challenge is getting to that main profitable sale. Sorry, I put main again. So getting to a profitable sale is getting to profit. That's your challenge. You want to get to profit as soon as possible, which means you need cash flow. Main opportunity, this is what's great about this business, is getting to critical mass of customers. I get these comments all the time of people who are messaging me inside the program saying, Joe, I now have 6 clients or 7 clients or 8 clients, and I can't do it all. They've kind of reached their own critical mass, and they've got to make a decision now of what they do. That's your opportunity, is getting to achieving the minimal critical mass of customers. And what I really mean is putting that number at a bigger number, to where you are scaling past that $1 million mark. So the first thing you should do, now it might be, now think about this, 10 customers at $10,000 a month is $1 million business. So if you're offering services in a particular niche or industry where it's $10,000 a month for your services, which is possible. We have some clients that will pay as high as $15,000 or more per month, and we have some clients that will pay $5,000, and then we have some very small clients that will pay $1,500, $2,000 per month. But in your business, you're going to sit down and do some homework and say, okay, what's the minimum critical mass that I have to hit? What's my opportunity to get to $1 million? Figure that out, and then figure out, how do I make sure I scale responsibly enough to get to that critical mass? Because otherwise you're going to be screaming when you only have 7 or 8 clients and you think you're at your critical mass. Main skill needed. This is the most important part of this lesson. When you're in the infancy stage, okay, main problem, main challenge, main opportunity is the main skill, though. Can you guess it? Main skill needed, let's go ahead and spell it out, is selling skills. The ability to sell. Selling your service. And it's overlooked. But without sales, it's very hard to sustain an ongoing business. You're going to have clients who leave you. You're going to have some clients who take longer than others to come on board. You need to have that pipeline full. One of the key metrics for you is, obviously, is how many customers you have, is how many revenue generating activities are you doing every week that can get you more customers. We're going to talk about that, because there's really 2 different activities that you could be doing. There's only 2. I mean, and you're going to hear maybe different people's belief systems on this. I try to dumb everything down and keep it really simple. But there's 2 activities. You can probably guess what these are. Oops, 2 activities. Apparently you don't need handwriting skills for this. Activities, okay. One is hunting. And 2 is farming. Now, if you've read some sales books, you know the difference between these 2 things, okay? But this is prospecting and selling, right? Presenting, selling, closing. Anything that's revenue generating. Revenue generating activities, which include prospecting, presenting, selling, identifying lead lists, and then reaching out to them, doing direct outreach on LinkedIn. Going to a meetup group is a hunting activity, because you're actively networking in a group that you're looking for prospects, and that's prospecting. Okay, that's how you should be spending your time. doing stuff like that. When we first started our business, the very first thing we did is we identified the local Chamber of Commerce's breakfast meetings. We didn't even have money to join BNI at the time. We're like, forget about what's BNI. We didn't know it costs money. We wanted to go to a free breakfast where our prospects might be at, which was at the time small businesses. We signed up security alarm companies. I remember our security alarm companies. We signed up pharmacies. We signed up auto dealerships. We signed up restaurant and bars. We signed up gay bars. I mean, you name it. We signed them up from these initial meetings. And I'd go there with 2 or 3 people from my company, including our other owners, because I'm like, all we should be doing right now is finding clients. So where do we got to go find them? And none of us really wanted to go cold call and walk into a business cold. Now, some of that did happen, and I know some of you are doing that, and I admire you for doing it. But in today's day and age, there's some other ways you can do it as well. But if you're willing to go out and walk into a business, more power to you. I would say do it. So hunting or farming. Now, farming is client management. Okay, maintaining clients. Client service, right? Let's call it that. Client service. Now, those are the 2 activities you should focus on from 0 to $1 million. Now, I know there's some of you going, well, wait a minute, Joe, I got to be working on my own social media. And I do have a belief. I think that you should be good at your own social media, absolutely. But I remember when I first started, I remember not having 100 fans on my Facebook page. I remember walking into a business and I was scared. I remember saying to them, I can help you get thousands of people on your Facebook. And I was scared they're going to ask me, well, you only have 100 on your Facebook page. And they never asked me that. You know why? Because they don't care about me. They care about their business. And so they want to know and they want to believe you and what you and they want to know what you can do, and they want to believe you. So these are the 2 activities between between 0 and $1 million. And I don't want you to make it more difficult than that. But I do want to share with you the biggest mistake new entrepreneurs make. And I think this is something that every single trainer, anyone who's created a business that's in this program, that's giving you their knowledge, I think Tai would 100% agree with this. I've seen him actually model this belief in his own systems and marketing. But the biggest mistake new entrepreneurs make is not spending at least 80% of their time selling. Spending your time, and I have some notes here, spending your time, attention, energy, and capital on things that aren't going to make you money, like setting up your office. Maybe it's even setting up your home office. I bet I could find some of you in this group that have spent more time setting up your home office than you have selling. I bet there's people here that have spent more time working on designing your new agency website than you have on selling. That's backwards. Designing logos. I see a lot of people in the group sharing their logos. Which logo do you think I should choose? And you're going on to Fiverr or Upwork and you're having someone design logos and you've got like 10 of them. I see people making some really fancy little cute videos of their agency business. A couple of them I'm like, these are damn good, but you're not selling. And you think that those cute videos and those logos and your website is going to make a sale for you, and it will not. Now, does it reinforce you being a professional? Sure. And there is a time to work on that stuff. But when you're 0 to $1 million, it's not that important. And now, I think, I did an interview, I think it was with Alec, that I did the interview when he said, how much time should someone spend setting up their website? And I said, this answer is going to surprise people. If you've listened to it, I believe it's in the bonus section of your social media program. And I said, I think I spent like 30 minutes on my new one. So on the Rockfish marketing site, it was literally like 30 minutes. And I have a designer that I contract to, and for websites, I have a graphic designer on my team. But for websites, I contract it out because we don't do very much website design. We try not to anyway. I end up doing it anyway, but I try not to. But I remember like going, I just need a quick little template. I need something that identifies that I'm focused on restaurants also. And I set that up like in 30 minutes. And I've not changed it ever since, because until that one division is at least $1 million in sales of just the restaurants, which is fast approaching that, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to focus on selling, getting more restaurants, more restaurant groups. Revenue Inbound is going through a whole new website redesign right now. We've gone through a couple, but I'm like, fine, we need to just do something about it. I'm tired of people complaining about it. And the only people that complain about it is actually people in this program who said, you have a few mistakes in your website. And I really don't care. None of my clients have ever pointed that out, by the way. None of them. Because they don't care. Your clients don't care as much as you do about your own stuff. So always remember that. Now, as you get bigger and you start getting more active, when you go to over 1 million, that's when you really want to start worrying about this stuff. So that's why I'm just now finally starting to redesign all this stuff, because I want to get to 5, 10 million. So, but you got to get to 1 million first. So just start there. This is really for those people. You're spending time printing business cards, filing your forms, writing contracts. We got our first 2 clients before our LLC paperwork even came in. So some of you are like, I got to wait for my LLC stuff to get here. Writing contracts, refining packages. This is my favorite. I had somebody ask me in the program, they said, Joe, can you send me what your packages are? I said, I would, but I don't have packages. I'm actually a little different than a few other people that are presented in this program. I used to have packages when I first started. 0 to 500,000 in revenue, I think I had packages. And then I started realizing that every single customer, so many customers really wanted a customized experience anyway. We started customizing packages. It actually meant I started doing a little bit less work for every client for the same amount of money or more. Sometimes a client will ask me to list it like a package, and so we still pull from that. But we don't put packages on our websites for that reason. And I know I'm different than some of the other people that teach in here, and honestly, it all works. So I'm not against it. And I'm just suggesting that you just choose what works for you. And honestly, it's kind of a crutch when you're first starting, so it's a good advice. I had it when I first started. I think I had them on our website, actually. But if you're spending all your time, I see this also. I mean, I know everybody here sees this at the Knowledge Society. You're posting your packages and saying, oh, yeah, look, tell me what you guys think about my packages. And do I have the bullet points lined up right? And do you think I should be offering, you know, Pinterest as well? And should I be? And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Go out and frickin' sell. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Why are you putting your packages on Facebook, asking a bunch of people if they like your packages? Just go sell it. Because when you're showing a customer, and in my other module, I talked about the law of comparison. When you show a customer what success looks like in social media and their mouth starts watering, okay, they then just want to know what the price is to get that. Whatever it is you're showing them is success online, is the package. Like let me show you this example of Facebook and how we're getting 10,000 people reach with our post, and how you're getting 2, and how you're getting 2 likes and we're getting 150 likes, and how we launched this contest, or how we just did this simple post of whatever it might be, and we're getting success and we're driving customer traffic in the door, and you're not. And they go, okay, they don't go, well, can you show me your package? They just say, well, how much does it cost? Well, we'll put together something for you, but you know, at the bottom end, it's $1,500, depending on how little or how much you want. If you want us to spend more time, for me, it comes down to time now. You know, a little over 5 hours a week is a $1,500 package minimum, right? Because I say it's just like anybody else. Our team's going to be spending our expertise and time on your account for you on your behalf. It's cheaper than hiring someone full time who doesn't know what the hell they're doing to work for you. You know, you can go to any college and hire someone $50,000 plus per year with a marketing degree, starting, and they'll know less than what we'll know for $1,500 a month. It's your choice. You're wasting valuable resources on secondary and tertiary endeavors. You know, legal, accounting, operational stuff, image building activities, they called it. Secondary stuff, refining the packages and establishing client service standards. Some of you are asking some of that. I am going to do a module on how to kick your clients off and get them started, but that module isn't going to help anyone who doesn't have clients. So you got to focus on getting sales. And your primary activity of hunting is, think about this, okay? You get the client, you know, that once you get a client, that at least buys you a week, because they're probably not going to get started like the next day. They're going to schedule a kickoff meeting with you. You're going to get some more information. You need to get photos. You need to figure out how to kick them off. That's what the other module is about. So the primary thing is testing and launching a successful sales strategy and sales process that works for you to get new customers consistently every single week. And I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about chronicling this on like Snapchat now going forward. I need to be using it probably more. I'm sure Ty would tell me that. Joe, use Snapchat more. But he's mastered it, right? And I've been using it a little bit more. But I think I'm going to start using it just for my client work, because I think people would be shocked for how much time I still spend prospecting, presenting, closing clients. Now, I may take other members of my team into some of these bigger accounts to be there and be present, but it's mainly for training purposes. I have no problem taking on a whole team. I went and presented to this large restaurant group last week in DC. All their board members were there. Their PR person was there. Their brand development person was there. Their website person was there. And I walked in as the lone wolf for this one. I'm like, I'll take this one because this is fun. I like selling. It took me a while to get there. Some of you are scared to death right now. You're like, well, I don't even know how to sell. Sure you do. Because all you have to do is talk to them and show them what success looks like online. And you can get a new client. But that should be your time. And if you're scared of selling, then you need to be focused on learning how not to be scared of selling. Go back and watch Ty's videos on mindset. Okay. I hope I've driven this point home. Spend your time hunting. If I meet you at an event, I'm going to say, how much time do you spend hunting versus farming? Don't get me wrong. You got to get good at farming because you want to keep clients. You got to get them results, but you got a little time to do that. Most customers, if you set the expectations right, don't expect you to get them results the next day or even the next week. They're really hoping that within a month or 2 or 3. And I always tell people when I'm setting expectations when I'm selling them, you got to give me 90 to 120 days to move the needle. I think I could do it sooner, but you got to at least give me some space to do that. And if you do, you're going to be really happy at the end of that time. Now, when I do it within 30 or 60 days, I've over-delivered. But I'm not going to over-promise because I know I'm also focused on something else, which is selling. You've got to get good at this stuff, the client service, but you got to. None of that matters. None of that. It doesn't matter if you're good at getting results if you can't sell and get a damn client. And this is epidemic right now in America. I get people coming to me all the time. I get people coming to me saying, I spent $30,000 on a coaching program to learn how to be an executive coach to businesses. And I said, well, then what's the problem? So I don't know how to get clients. I say, wait a minute. You just paid $30,000 for a franchise to be a coach, but you don't know how to go get the clients to coach. They said, that's correct. I said, well, then you're focused on the wrong thing. So what are some books that I recommend? I have this in the handout so you can read these, but I have a few of my favorite sales books I just thought I'd share with you. One of my favorite books, it's an unknown, by Dave Curlin. Dave Curlin is a master at uncovering the pain, getting people to kind of wallow in it and express what their problem is. He wrote the book called Baseline Selling. So if you're a sports fan, you're going to really love this book. It's called Baseline Selling, How to Become a Sales Superstar by Using What You Already Know about the game of baseball. Because he talks about the sales process based on what you know about a baseball diamond. So he says, here's how you get to first base, second base, third base, et cetera. And it's really, really good. It's one of my favorite sales books, if not my favorite. And it's really easy to comprehend, and I think it can take any newbie from a zero to a hero. There's another great book called Smart Calling by Art, I can't even pronounce his last name, Sobczak? I can't pronounce it. Eliminate the Fear, Failure, and Rejection of Cold Calling. It really helps you when you're on the phone, giving you some confidence. There's a great book by Oren Klaff called Pitch Anything. I encourage you to get it. Anything by Jeffrey Gitomer. Jeffrey Gitomer is one of the godfathers of sales. Him and Tom Hopkins have some of the best-selling sales books of all time. Jeffrey Gitomer wrote The Sales Bible, The Little Red Book of Selling, The Little Yellow Book of Attitude, and dozens of other books. His book, The Sales Bible and The Little Red Book of Selling, which is on my list, are two of the top 10 most sold sales books of all time. He's also one of my clients. So, but I'm not biased because of that. I'm just telling you he's that good. He recently, in his new edition, gave me some kudos and talks about me in the Sales Bible. But what he didn't know when he hired me was that that was the first sales book I had ever read when I was a 19-year-old desperate to get sales. So see how it comes back to you, right? Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, great book. And then, of course, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mean, that's the basis for getting along with people. It's the basis for building rapport and getting people to like you. You should read and study that book. And I know if you belong to the Mentor Box program, you got that book in the mail. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Bettger. This is an old book. It's a classic. I think it was written in, I don't know, the 70s or maybe the 80s. But it's like How to Win Friends and Influence People for selling, for the selling profession. And it's really good in terms of lessons learned of how to get people to buy into what you're saying. So those are some of my favorite sales books I thought I'd share with you. happy selling and go from 0 to $1 million by focusing on what's most important, and that's getting new clients. Thanks.